بعد 3 أيام ماشي. شوفوا مضروب دوك.
And you're going to be, I think, with my group, and we're going to do an exercise in character development.
Arwa, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, for sure. Would you like me to introduce
Arabic.
myself in Arabic? Yeah, all right. مرحبا، كيفكم جميعا؟ اسمي أروى عمرين، أنا فلسطينية خلقانة بسوريا، يعني سورية تقريبا، وكنت من سكان مخيم اليرموك. أنا دارسة حقوق 3 سنين ودارسة تمثيل 4 سنين، خريجة معهد عالي فنون مسرحية بدمشق. اضطريت إني إجي أنا على اليوكي بال 2018.
I born in city. It's like specific city for Palestinian refugee. It's called Yarmouk in north of Damascus. I think we were, when I just compare another childhood from another country, I feel like, no, it's not ordinary at all. You know, I mean, crazy childhood. I grew up with a dream that I want to be an actress.
Were you studying when the uprisings began in Yarmouk in Damascus?
Actually, I was fresh graduated from Higher Institute of Dramatic Arts in Syria. So I graduated 2011, and then the uprising started.
Your neighbors running faster than you, breath bloody in their throats. The boy you went to school with, who kept you dizzy behind the old steam factory, is holding a gun bigger than his body.
Yarmouk camp has 2 streets, Palestinian Street and Yarmouk Street. So government started to shell Palestinian Street, which is my area. When the shelling and bombing at that area, we didn't move straight away out. We moved to another street. I was on the balcony and you could see the Palestinian dark and clearly destroyed, and people in Yarmouk just like keeping live, you know? People want to live and continue their life, and they want to deny, while another part, which is just a half of the street, just completely destroying, you know? So it was crazy.
This is the civil war within the civil war. Jihadi fighters push through Yarmouk in Damascus. So while this battle takes place, the regime continues its siege of Yarmouk.
I could remember I was sleeping and suddenly we've heard something like boom, and straight away I scared. A week after I left with my mom and my sisters and my brother to Lebanon, the government shell rocket to a big mosque in my neighborhood, and then whole people in Yarmouk camp just fled. I graduated 2011. I moved 2012 to Lebanon, so it seems like I should start from zero. I'm so far from my country, I'm so far from my future, everything just destroyed. And no friends, nothing, you know. Okay, Lebanon as a country is an Arabic country and so close to Syria, but still strange for me. And I spent a year just depressed. I was staying in the hotel and smoking. I felt I lost my career, I lost my future, my friends, I lost everything. After a year of depression, I decided to rebuild my life. I started to go out made friends. And best of all, I started to work again as an actress. I was dreaming like one day as an actress I'm going to move to work in Hollywood, something like that. كنت عم ألعب هذا الدور لما كنت مرتك، ولكن النتيجة فصلنا. عمل الشيء اللي بريحك. أنا اللي بيهمني إنك ما توقع حالك، لأني بخاف عليك. Lebanese government tried to make the situation more difficult for Palestinian Syrian specifically. That means I should back to Syria and no way to enter to Lebanon, you know? At that time, we should go to Yarmouk because the government was allowing people to go and check their houses. I went with my mom and my uncle and his wife to check our house in Yarmouk camp. It was tragic because you can't find nothing. I mean, no houses, no facilities, no people. So through 6-7 years, Yarmouk camp was the target of government, I think. And ISIS did many bad things. No one deserved to be killed. I'm against them. I'm clearly against not only our government, any government just planning to destroy anywhere, any groups. Why? Why human beings should suffering? Why? For what?
I can't breathe. I feel the whole world is stuck in my throat. I'm walking, always walking.
It wasn't safe for me to stay in Syria anymore. Actually, my aunt, she told me like some of Palestinian Syrian people having contact with some smugglers so I can talk with. And he told me, Arwa, yeah, I have smuggler number, help me to go to Turkey by Kurdistan. But Arwa, I'm gonna tell you, very tough journey. You can't do it. You can't do it. I said, look, I have only this choice. I contact with a smuggler, so I bid to the smuggler $1,500. I went back to Syria to quick goodbye. Actually, I don't know. I couldn't. Now I feel I couldn't say goodbye to my mom and my sister and my dog. I was, I needed some stuff and I should go quickly. And my mom was scary and just go. I didn't hug her. Everything was going quickly, at that time.
I feel thirsty. I could drink the biggest, deepest ocean. The sun scratches hot like hell.
The mountains like this, and was very tough. And we weren't has break a lot, because to arrive there in dark, we should walk. So we could walk for 9 hours. We had finished water. I was thinking I'm gonna die because I was, I had no oxygen at August in Kurdistan, which is I think 40 degrees. It was very hot and, wasn't safe. I don't know if I should mention this, but let people know what's going on with ladies in these dangerous ways. I mean, one smuggler was trying to help me and pushing me from my ass, but I knew he was touching me. But honestly, I didn't do anything because I can't. He could just throw me and no one cared and no one knows. I remember I stopped I said, no, I can't do it. And they called me, come. I said, no, I can't. The Kurdish, he came to me and he makes me like that, and was rocks behind me. He put me and he showed me. He said, I'm gonna fuck you when we arrive. I was shocking because how you could in this tragic do this. I mean, we are, you know, in jungle and tired and thirsty. How? I couldn't imagine, you know. And then I said, okay. He said, let's go. I was tired. I didn't want to think about anything. Honestly, I was giving up at that time.
Oh my God. I'm done.
Now we started again. He said we're gonna walk like 2 hours and we will face the river. We arrived to the river. I was lucky because I was tall, so the water was like that, but all my stuff in my bag just going wet. I noticed that the guy who had iron leg was behind me and he was catching me and screaming because it seems like he had phobia, and sure, because of his situation. I think I just catch him like that. I said, don't worry. He was screaming and saying, please, begging. I said, don't worry, I'm gonna carry you. And I carry him. Suddenly I had that strength, you know, and we just went to the end. So we started to crawl. We crawled like nearly 3 hours. And suddenly, when we were crawling, we noticed big projects came to us and was Turkish military again. Actually, in that point, I was thinking, go back to Syria and died there better than died in jungle. Then I just remember my family, and maybe if I tried the third time, maybe I could, you know, make my family be safe in another country.
With fire in our hearts, we looked for the river. We begged God, please, we've had enough. 3 days we walk, lost and dying. I'm walking, always walking.
The third time, the smuggler decided to be 7 men and 2 ladies, no more kids or eldest. We got across. We found the Turkish smuggler waiting for us 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, we went like 12 hours by car to Istanbul. I stayed 6 days in Istanbul looking for another smuggler to go to Greece. After meeting 3 or 4 smugglers, I could find one who I felt safe with him. He said, look, it's very dangerous way. It will take 3 days at 1,000 euro. We had to cross over 2 parts of the river in a small boat. Once we got into Greece, we had to all go separately so as not to be suspicious. I went to Athens. I had deal with a smuggler that he offered for me passport for Indian lady, and I should make myself similar to her look. I tried to change my look. And then he said, we're gonna go to Corfu Island there because the airport less controlling there. Next day was my flight. I went before to drink. I drank like 4 beers because I was nervous, you know, so nervous. I had no idea about how airports, you know, controlling or something. So I was scared at that point, you know. Anyway, I went to the airport. I went to the queue and I was shaking, and then I flight. Finally. I arrived in the UK in 5th of October 2018. So I get off from the airplane and then I followed the queue and they were going to a passport control and I shocked like what I'm gonna do. And there were security, he asked me, what's your passport? He said, okay, go to that counter, fill application, something, fill a form and then back to that counter. I said, okay, it's better to go and just tell them the truth and that's it, because anyway, I will do that at the end. So I went and she asked me, your passport, like, good evening, your passport. And she was very cute. And me, I'm a refugee. And she said, sorry? I said, I'm a refugee. At that time, at that point, I broke. And she was very nice. She came, she said, it's okay. And I was telling her, I'm sorry. Honestly, I feel shame. You know, like, I came here and I know they don't want me here. I came illegal by another passport and, you know, I think I felt shame and I was telling her, I'm sorry to do that, but I have to do. And she was nice, she said, okay, don't worry. I tried to tell her like, I'm a good girl, but my situation just put me in this. Anyway, and you know, the process, I spent 12 hours in the airport and they interviewed me twice. Then I moved to Rotherham. So I spent 11 months in Rotherham. And then I knew like I'm gonna do something. So I went to British Red Cross, I volunteered there, I volunteered with Refugee Council, I volunteered with another 2 local organizations, and one of them I was ambassador there. And
What was that?
A multicultural center. So 11 months I spent as asylum seeker. We were like 6 or 7 ladies sharing house from different backgrounds. It was Monday, 19 of 9, 2019. The postwoman, the post lady knocked the door. I went straight away because I knew when she knocked the door, that meant good news. So I went there and I opened the door. She said, Mariam Farhadi. I said, no. I called my my housemate and she came. And then I just went back and she said, where's Arwa, Omaran? And I packed and she said, this envelope for you. And I take it and I knew like something, you know, very important. I was looking for the years. I didn't read anything. I was looking and then I noticed was 2024. I have right to leave to remain until 2024. And I don't know, it was a very dramatic moment. And then I should start again another process, which is move to London, work, because now I have permission to work. And yeah, this is what happened. I moved to London, I found a job, I worked, and I was volunteering with the dentist. I'm still actually volunteering with her in Harley Street. I worked with BBC4 Radio, a project talking about Syrian war. And I did it as an actress in English language. I live in West London in a sharing house with 6 people coming from Africa, different countries, and they are very, very nice people. Here's my room. It's a tiny room, but I try to do my best. And here's my bed. I don't have much things. The gift, small plant. I love plants, but I couldn't have big ones, so this is why I love it.
Okay, let's have a look at the CV that you've got so far. And what I'm looking at is gaps. Because of your experience and what you've happened in your life, there will be gaps in your work. Did you do any other theatre when you were in Syria?
Not really. The time between my graduations and my moving, so you know, wasn't allowed to me to work.
But you've done some pretty consistent stuff recently.
So I started from the newest.
At the moment, I think this is a really good time for you to be working, to be starting to work in the UK.
I decided to come to the UK because I love Britain anyway, and I was very good in English language, and I had British boyfriend before, and I worked with BBC, so it was many reasons. I felt safe in Britain. I changed, my personality has changed in the UK, honestly. I'm not Arwa anymore. I become stronger physically and mentally. You know, mentally, I should survive. Since I arrived, I'm running, fighting, have a purpose. I didn't rest. But I'm optimistic. Actually, honestly, I was always thinking and imagining myself like working in good restaurant as an actress, and and like Martin Scorsese or someone coming there and just discover me. I'm still optimistic. I could actually do what I want. My baby. Look the bag. Go.
Jack, sit down. Bravo, good boy. This is in Arabic, mean through it.